Hi, my name is Alex Sharp. I'm a junior at Freestyle Academy, and for my explorations project, I decided to learn a new animation program. I was interested when I found out you could animate in Adobe Photoshop since it's a program I already knew how to use, just not animate in. For this project, I made 5 short animation exercises to practice all the new tools in Photoshop.
My name is Miles Morales. I was bitten by a radioactive spider, and for like 2 days, I've been the one and only Spider-Man.
Okay, so the first step to animating in Photoshop is to go Window, you can't see it, but just click on Window, Timeline, and then you basically get your animation timeline. And something that I learned from doing this is that it's really easy to learn Photoshop animation through YouTube. Like, there's a lot of helpful guides out there. Okay, and I'm talking fast because I don't want this video to be long. Okay, so the first animation I did was a bouncing ball. It's like the standard animation exercise, and I figured I could just animate it with my mouse as like a starting point. And yeah, and I also animated this bird. And as you can see, I used transform keyframes for the bird to fly up and down. Didn't really work, but whatever. And then it breaks. The second one I didn't actually try much new with this. I just wanted to get more practice, so I animated some expression changes, and this time I used my actual tablet with that, not my mouse, is what I'm saying. And yeah, that's it. Okay, and then for this one, I wanted to try keyframing opacity, which is something that is pretty easy to do in this because it's just right there. Once you drop it down, there's a lot of stuff here. So when he puts his hand out, I wanted it to be like really bright and then get dimmer and like brighter and dimmer. And I don't know how well it came out, but if you pay attention, you can see like it like gets brighter and dimmer as it goes along. And then I just animated the hair because I thought it added a cool touch to it. And so yeah, that was my practice animating opacity keyframes. And if you use Adobe applications and you already know how to keyframe, it's pretty much the same. Yeah, and I'm sure anyone watching this is a freestyle student that already knows how to keyframe, so yeah, it's pretty easy. Okay, and then for this one, okay, so the new Spider-Verse movie came out, and I made this before I saw it, and I was really excited for it. So, yeah, I animated Miles Morales lip syncing, and I took this portion from the first movie, and I actually have never done lip syncing that much before, so this was a fun exercise, and it allowed me to practice. And this was actually a lot more work than I thought it would be, so that's why it took me 3 days. Basically what you do is you can't see the waveforms, and you can't actually hear it when you scroll through it, so you kind of just had to like start and stop it, and like try to find what sounds corresponded to what mouth movements. Okay, and then for this last one, I did something that I've never tried before, which is like just doing all keyframing and no frame by frame animation. For this one, I decided to animate grass and like the tree like flowing in the wind. So I made each of these a different layer, and I moved them around, and I just keyframed it. And then this is basically just a still photo but animated. And this is pretty helpful because it allows more expressiveness in the background, and so it's not just like a still image. It's a bit more interesting because it moves. And this was a bit out of my comfort zone, and I think it turned out pretty good. Okay, so I hope everything I said makes sense and you hopefully learned something from this video, and I encourage you to try out a new software that you've never tried out before because it's a pretty cool learning experience. So overall, Adobe Photoshop is an easy to learn animation tool, but the downside is that there are not as many tools as other programs like Adobe Animate. This project was helpful because it's something I can possibly use in an animation or film career. Learning how to use new software is an essential skill that just gets easier with time.